Perfect. Okay. Thank you so much, Kumel. So friends, in this today's session, today's webinar, I will be showing you how do you create a nice looking interactive dashboard on your raw data. Uh, Using pivot table is a regular and very important option. Means when I was working in the company whole day, I was using if condition, VLOOKUP and pivot table. So with the help of pivot table, you can create a nice summary report with interactive buttons for your management to explore the summary. So now what I will do before I start the session, I will open one sales file, which I will just show it to you that what you are going to learn. So this is your sales data, friends. So if you will see this data, you have a data from 2005 till 2019. So you have around 12, 13 years of data. You have different cities, you have sales, you have product, and you have around 5,000 records. Now what you are going to actually learn, I will show you. From this raw data, we are going to create this type of summary report. So you see this raw data, nobody can understand this data. In this session, I'm going to show you how do you convert this raw data into this type of nice looking report, with the help of which you can click on Dubai, so you get a Dubai sales. You click on Sharjah, you get Sharjah sales. If
Okay,
you want to
your
bring it back, you can bring
Ramzan,
it back.
your Excel file, we cannot view the file. I guess people are saying that, and even I'm not able to view it. So maybe you have to change the screen or
Okay, can
something.
you see the screen now?
Yes, yes.
Okay, I hope everybody is able to see the screen. Can you just say yes, everybody? Okay, very good. Thank you so much for this. Okay, so this was the raw data which we will be using now. And on this raw data, we will be converting entire raw data into this type of report. Now we will also learn not only how do you create the text report, but I will also show you how do you create this nice looking dashboard. Okay, so let's get started, friends. Okay. So now I'm closing this file, and let's say you have this data and you have downloaded this report from the CRM or Oracle or from anywhere, and your management wants a nice looking dashboard. So here you need not worry that how many times I have to do filter, how to do sort, you have to do copy paste. You don't have to do anything. You just have to use one option, that is your pivot table, but in a very interesting way. So let's get started. So now what I'm doing is I'm opening a notepad over here. And first, next 1 minute, what we will do, we will understand that from this data, what are the reports that will be useful for my management. And then we will learn how do you create the report. Okay. So what do you think on this sales data, friends? What are the different reports that can be created? So I will just unmute over here, and then some of you can say that what are the different reports that can be created on this. Yes, friends, go ahead. What do you think on this data? What are the different reports that can be created?
There are some lines coming on your screen, the red ones. I'm not
Yeah,
sure
I
what
don't
they're.
know why it's coming. I'm also seeing that. Can I unshare and share once again?
Yeah, please.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. I also don't know how it's coming over here, but
Maybe
let
there could be
me.
some eraser or something if there's an option. I'm not sure.
Here you have annotate, but I have just said clear.
Ha.
Because I
It's
hope
going.
you have opened that whiteboard and you're drawing. By mistake, you're drawing with pencil. That's what that red color is coming. Pen color coming.
Now it has
Okay,
gone,
okay.
everybody?
Yeah, it's gone. Now
Okay,
it's
Yeah.
great.
gone.
Thank you so much for pointing, and thank you so much. So on this report, on this data, we can create few reports. We can create city-wise sales. Okay, so the reports which I'm going to show you, friends, it's all from the corporate point of view. I myself have worked in the corporate, So I know how the sales reports are created, how financial reports are created, how HR, the learning and development reports are created. So this everything I will be sharing with you with my experience. So you can create city wise sales, you can create product wise sales. Let me put everybody once again on mute over here. So I say mute on. You can even create yearly sales. You can create monthly sales. You can create yearly and monthly sales, or you can say yearly and quarterly sales. Like this, lots of reports can be created on this. You can even create the difference between 2 years sales, so that management wants to see that each year what is the different sales happening, sales is increasing or decreasing. So like this, lots of types of reports can be created. You can even create the percentage contribution of each city towards the product. Means how much each city is contributing to my product, to my total sales. Now, if we have decided I have to create so many reports, now how do you create all these reports, friends? The question is, yes, you need or your management needs all this report, but how do we create? And we want to create all this report on one screen, okay, so that management don't have to go here and there in each sheet. And how do you create a nice looking dashboard? So let's get started. So now I am starting the actual session. Now I want everybody to pay the attention so that you don't miss any of the point, okay. So let's get started, friends. So the first step is I will put my cursor anywhere inside the data. And the first step in creating pivot table is you will convert this data into the raw data. You will create this data into the dynamic table. So I will again open my notepad and here I will write steps. So the first step is convert your raw data into dynamic table. Okay, so now you will ask, Ramzan, what is this dynamic table and why you should convert your data to dynamic table? Before that, I will also write Control T. So with the help of Control T, you can convert your raw data into the dynamic. Why? I will tell you. Give me 1 minute. So see, I have put my cursor inside the data, and from the keyboard, I am pressing Control T. I am pressing Control T and I am saying okay. You will see this raw data will become colorful. So this became a dynamic data. Okay, why, how it will be useful? It will be useful that when you create a report on this data, the report will be created till this last record. But in future, if you add more data, if this data you have not put it in dynamic mode, then you will not get the extra data. So if you convert your data into the raw data, in future, if you add more data to it, you have add July, August, September 2020 data, you just have to say refresh and your all the reports will be generated automatically. So till now, how you all were creating pivot table, you were going to insert, you were saying pivot table. Now, no. Now you should change your method. Now you should change your approach. First, press Control T, enter, and after that we will go to insert and there is an option pivot table. So you will click on this option pivot table. See, it's over here. So I click on pivot table and you will get this screen. So those of you who are already working with pivot table, you have to wait for few minutes because many of you might be knowing the pivot table. But there are some people over here in this group who have not worked with pivot table. Some of you might not have heard. So for them, I'm explaining the basic. And slowly, we will move to the slicer, timeline, report connection, everything. But you have to wait for a few more minutes. Yeah. So you will go to the insert tab and you will say pivot table. And I will just say, okay. So this is a place where your reports are going to come. That is a new worksheet. So I say, okay. And over here, you will see a new worksheet has come. This is the place where all your charts are going to come now. Okay. So now let's start. So this is a place where all your reports are going to come, friends. And this is the area right side which you are seeing. This we will be using. And now on the right hand side, you will see all the names of the tables which were there in the data, all the names of the heading. So product, city, sale, these are the headings which was there in your data. So if I go to my data, this data, if you will see the heading, first row, customer, coupon, payment, this all headings has come over here. And these are the four areas: filter, column, rows, and value. These four areas you will be working on. If you learn this four area, you become good in pivot table. But in this session, we are going to go beyond this. So let's get started. So what was the first report that we wanted to create? We wanted to create a simple report, city-wise sales. So how do we create with pivot? So here there is a city column. You will take this city column and you will drag it under the row. So as soon as you drag it under the row, on the left hand side, you will see all the names of the city has come. Acha, where I have dragged it under the row. If I drag it under the column, so this way it is row. If I put this under the column, it will become like, though this is a column. You have to understand this basic thing first. Again, I will put this under the row. So this has come row wise. Okay. Now in B column, I want all the total sales. So here I have a sales column. I will take the sales column and put it over here under the value. So you will see the value has come. It has come total sales. Now here we will wait. Here you think, friends, if you wanted to create this same report, if I tell you that, okay, create this report without the pivot, what you had to do, you know, you have to filter on Dubai, on Sharjah, on Ras Al Khaimah. So 5 times you had to filter, and then you have to do copy paste. But here what you did, you just said insert, you went to pivot table, okay, you drag city, you drag a value, and your work is done. So creating a report in Excel is very simple if you know the option. If you don't know the option, naturally you are going to take lots of time. Now I will show you another way that how do you create it on the same sheet. Now what we will do, we will take this and you say Control A. You will select this pivot. Don't select the whole sheet like this, friends. Only select this much. Control A, that is select all, and you will press Control C, that is the copy. You will put the cursor below and you will say Control V for paste. So what I did, I said Control A, which is for select all. Then I said Control C, copy, and then I said Control V for paste. Okay. Now, when I said Control V for paste, the same pivot table came here. But in second pivot table, I don't want city wise. I want product wise. So I will take the product, I will remove the city from here, or you can uncheck the city, and I say bring the product under the row. So I got a same report of product on the same screen. Go on seeing in next 5 to 10 minutes, you will see something very amazing coming up. Again, I will say select all. Again, I will say Control C for copy. I will go down. I say Control V for paste. There are 4 steps in creating pivot table, friends. This is the first step I am doing. So 3 more steps are remaining. Okay. So I will remove the product from here and I will say I want payment method wise. So this is a payment method wise report. Again, I will say select all. Again, I will copy that report and I will say paste. But in this, I wanted to create each year how much sales happened, or let's say salesperson wise. So I took the salesperson. So I got each person did how much sales. Again, I will copy this data. Again, I will go down and I will say paste. Now you are going to learn something very interesting. I want you to pay attention on the screen. Now my manager tells me, Ramzan, I wanted to create each year how much is the sales. So you don't have to worry. What I will do, I will uncheck the salesperson and I will take the date and I will put it under the row. So you will see each year how much was the sales. But I wanted to see each year, each month also. So what you have to do, here comes the concept of grouping in pivot table. So you will right click over here and over here you will say group, where you will right click on the year and I say group. So it's asking me which report. I will say uncheck quarters. I wanted to see only year and month. Just say okay, and it will expand. It will open up, explore it. So each year, each month, how much is the sales? If you want to see each year, each quarter, how much is the sales? Right click on it and click on group. Uncheck the month and select the quarters. And I say, okay. Wow. So each year, each quarter, how much is the total sale? It has come. You see, friends, how simple it is to create the reports. Sometime you might be thinking, oh, creating this type of reports, how people are creating. But if you know the option, and this, if you will see the video I've just done in few minutes. In fact, you can put the date from row to the column. I am putting it on this area, and it becomes a very interesting report. So each year, each month, how much is the total sale? If I tell you to create this report manually, I think you will take more than half an hour to create this report, this single report which you are seeing on the screen. But in how many minutes I did? No, not minutes. I did it in seconds. I just dragged the date. I right clicked. I did right click group. I selected year and quarter, and my pivot is ready. So I don't want a quarter wise. I just want a year wise. So I will throw this date outside, and I want something like this. Okay. So now you see all the 5 reports has come on one screen. Now the second step of the pivot, this was the first step. Now I am going to the second step. Okay, in second step is very simple. You just have to rename. So this is my city wise, because Excel does not change the heading on his own. So this is my product wise. This is my payment wise. You can just change manually the heading. This is my year wise, and this is my salesperson wise. Okay, this is the second. The second step is very simple. Now, if you want to make it little beautiful, this chart, why not to change the color of it? Let's spend few seconds on this as well. So I will come on each one or table, and I will go to the table format, and here you can change the color of each of the table so that your report should look good. Okay. So I have changed color. Give a very simple color. Don't put any dark color. Oh, I don't want to see these grid lines which are over here. So how do you remove the grid lines? Don't put white color. Go to the view tab, and in view tab over here you will see one option, grid lines. I will uncheck the grid lines, and all my grid lines has gone. Okay. So this way, friends, these are the 2-3 steps. Now the next steps is coming. Okay. Now you will see something very, very interesting. So I will come over here, and I have not put the company heading. So I will select the cells which is on the row number 1, and I'm doing merge. This is a merge option. Okay. And let's fill any color over here, and let me type the heading. So let's say sales dashboard e-tech global solution UAE. Then you can make it bold, whatever color you want, you can give it, you can increase the font size. Oh, after this, after doing this, my management might ask me, hey Ramzan, can you put some slicer over here? Slicers means button. Like now you can see each person did so much sales. But I wanted to know Abdul did how much sales in Dubai region. Then how do we do that? You can't create more 15 reports. In this report only you can do. How? This way. I will put my cursor inside the data, and then you have to go to insert. So this is a insert tab ribbon, right? In that, over here you see one option, slicer. Beautiful option. I like, not I, everybody like this option. This is a slicer, very, very interactive button. So I will come on the slicer part. We will also do the timeline after a few minutes. So I wanted to say city, and I will say okay. Perfect. I will take the city slicer nicely. I will put it over here. If you have sufficient time, you can even do a nice formatting. I'm changing the color from the top, and it becomes a nice slicer. Now, when I click on Dubai, you will see the numbers is going to change. I click on Dubai, see numbers are changing. Sharjah, Ras Al Khaimah, Ajman, Abu Dhabi. If I want to bring all back, means a group level, if you want to see all everybody. So I click on clear all. So this is a clear all option. So this is really fantastic, amazing. Let me show it to you once again, those who have not worked. I have a yearly sales and my management might ask, Ramzan, I wanted to see each product sold each year how much. So I will put my cursor on year wise. I will go to insert and there is an option slicer. I click on slicer. Slicer of what? I want slicer of, let's say, city or let's say product. Acha, you can have two slicer as well. Okay. So I say okay. And my two slicers are ready. Again, I will take this slicer over here. I can even convert it into two columns. I will put it nicely over here. This is my one slicer. Again, I took this. Again, I will just make it a little bit small, and again I will make it two columns can be done from here, from the option. And let's take some another color. So now I'm seeing, see, hard disk, this was the sale each year, but in Dubai region how much? In Dubai region this much. Do you see your life became so simple? Again I click on clear all, clear all. You presented a year wise, but your management might wants to see from different angle. You don't have to worry. Each city, this is the sale. Okay, in Ajman region, how much was the sale, laptop sale each year? So click on laptop. This is amazing. Printers, mobile, hard disk. Again, I click on it and everything is clear. So this way, friends, you can create a nice looking dashboard from this. Now I'm going to show you something very amazing. Okay. Now, if you see all these reports, this Abdul sales, this is of which year? This is of all the years, right? Now my management says, Ramzan, I wanted to see yearly, monthly, to see how I am doing. What I will do, I will insert few rows above. One, two, I'm pressing Control Shift plus to insert a row. So Control Shift plus is a shortcut to insert a row. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I have added 7 rows. Means I have just created some space to create a timeline. And now what I will do, I will go to the insert and I say timeline. You see on which table I'm creating timeline? City table. I say timeline. This is a very important point. Don't miss over here. Okay. I click on date and I say okay. Perfect. I got a timeline. Nicely, I will put the timeline. No, it's not adjusting. I will insert one more row over here and my timeline is done. I will just make it something like this. Perfect. Amazing. Now I will click on this month and I say year. Wow. So now you see, friends, I'm like, okay, I think I should adjust this also. This is the formatting part you can do afterwards when you have lots of time. Okay, now though I don't have a time. Okay, so now whenever I will click on 2003, you see this Dubai sale is changing. 2004, 5, 6, 7, 8. So this way you can create. Now some of you might ask a question, okay Ramzan, when I click on 2015, this is changing. I want, when I click on 2015, all the table should change. So how do we do that? So now here comes the concept of report connection. This is very interesting thing. I want you to pay attention that how do we do the report connections. Oh, thank you so much, Glenn, for your feedback. Okay, I've just seen the chat message. I should not see that. I mean, divert. So now how do you do the report connection? So now I will click on this timeline. I will select the timeline, friends. And on the top, you will see one options. Achha, if you will not select this timeline, you will not see the options. See, I'm clicking outside. And now you will not see option. I select the timeline, this timeline. I go to the option and on the left hand side, you will see this option. Report connection. This is very interesting thing. I click on report connection over here. And this is my sheet 1. Huh? I should have renamed, but it's okay. Afterwards, I will rename. I want all the other pivots should update. So if you want any pivot not to update, you can uncheck that. And I just say, okay, and your work is done. Now I'm clicking in 2013. You see everything is changing. 14, 15, 16, all the numbers are changing. Observe here on the below, okay? 15, 16, everything is changing. So this is amazing. I clear. Acha, here you will say, okay, Ramzan, when I click on 2015, everything should change, but this year-wise pivot should not change. I want here to see all the year. Then what? So now I'm going to show you one more interesting thing. So now what I will do, friends, over here is I will come on year-wise pivot table, this pivot, and I will find what is the name of this pivot table. I will go to design, which is, sorry, I will go to analyze. And on the left hand side, you will see pivot table name. So the name of this pivot table is pivot table 5. In fact, if you have a time, you can rename this pivot table. So I say year wise. So now the name of this pivot is year wise. I will come on this pivot and I am changing the name of this pivot is salesperson. So I know which pivot is what. I go to the analyze, I will say this is my city pivot. I will go to my product and I will say this is my product pivot. I will go to payment wise. I click on analyze. On a left hand side pivot table name, I say it as payment. Now you can see on the top, when I click on it, I go to the option and I click on report connection. And now whatever pivot I want, I can connect. So I don't want to connect to the year pivot. So I will uncheck the year and just I will say okay. And now whenever you will click on the pivot table, or that is timeline, automatically it will change. So I click on 2015, 2015, 17. Now you see all the pivots are changing, huh? But this is not changing. Year wise is not changing. Got it, everybody? So I will quickly come over here and I say summary. So this way you can create a nice looking dashboard over here. Okay, friends. So this way you create a nice looking text based dashboard with the help of slicer, with the help of timeline. So I think as per the timing, we are already up the time. It's already 40 minutes. Some people have to go for work. Otherwise, there was more thing in the pivot which I would have shared it with you. That how do you create a chart on this, create the lines in between and everything. But I think time is not permitting, and we will surely plan this once again after some time. Okay.